Hi folks, Joshua Michael here with Berakah Yard and Landscaping. Today we're going to talk a little bit about rosemary and how to create or make rosemary seasoning. I know, someone out there is thinking, man, what's the deal? You do landscaping. You're going to teach me how to make food too? Well, one of my hobbies or pastimes is food. And so because I also do gardening full time, and even with the landscaping company, I also do gardening. I thought I'd share this with you. So the tools and equipment you will need to create rosemary seasoning are, first, obviously, the rosemary. Next, you'll need a dehydrator or a oven. Then you'll need a spice grinder, and you'll need a table and a place to work. And the last thing you'll need is going to be a seasoning bottle to put your ground up rosemary in. First, pick your rosemary if you have it in the garden. If not, you can get raw rosemary from any grocery store. You should be able to get some rosemary in a container. The rosemary plants you see here were actually much bigger before I cut them down and harvested my rosemary. Then take your rosemary first and wash it off. You want to make sure any dirt has been removed from it, so go ahead and take it in there. It also has a really sticky sap because it is a perennial, and so you want to go take it to the sink, wash it off, clean it off to prepare it for processing. Then take it, put it in a bowl, and set that bowl on the counter. Then you're going to want to take each individual sprig. The sprig is the whole branch of that rosemary, and you want to take the end of it and evenly take the leaves off that branch and then set them aside. You want to do this for as many sprigs as you have of rosemary, and then take that rosemary and place it on your dehydrator tray. You want to use the dehydrator sheets that are perforated. That's the sheets that have the holes in it, not the solid sheet, because you want to be able to sandwich them in between two perforated sheets. That way the rosemary doesn't fall off or blow off as the fans are moving in that dehydrator. Then once you've got all of the rosemary processed, place them all on sheets, put the perforated sheets on top, place those sheets in your dehydrator, and set your dehydrator or oven at approximately 105 degrees. You really don't want to go any hotter than that, because you don't want to cook the rosemary. You simply want to remove the water content from the leaves. Doing any hotter than that, you risk burning the leaves and actually cooking them instead of dehydrating them. So bear that in mind. You're going to want to probably leave them in the oven or leave them in your dehydrator for about 24 hours. Okay, that should take most of the moisture out of the leaves. If it doesn't, go ahead and leave it in for another hour and just monitor it until it's completely dehydrated. But 24 hours usually should do the trick. Then take your dried rosemary and place it in a bowl and set the bowl aside, and grab your grinder, plug the grinder in, and set it up. Prepare it to begin to place the dried rosemary into the grinder in small batches. Grind it up to the consistency you want it. I like mine fine, but with a little bit of coarseness to them, so that it has some texture when I'm putting it over food. So, and then just grind it up to the consistency. You can grind it up even almost into a powder if that's what you desire. So, grind it up. Then take the ground up rosemary, place it in a container, label that container rosemary, place it on the shelf for cooking, and there you have it. That's how you create rosemary seasoning from raw rosemary. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy that. We'll see you next time.